says, my people have cried. My people have cried out for an answer. And this is what I have to say, says the Spirit of life. A veil has been placed upon this nation, and I did it. I did it. So that for a season my people would wonder and faith would increase. For in darkness faith grows. In despair faith grows. I did it. But now my fury has ended. Hear me. For I have found a man after my own heart. I have found a man after my own heart, and he is amongst you. He is one of the brothers that singled out for presidency of the United States of America. But here, the transcription of God upon the heart of his prophet. How the gold has become dim. The stones of the sanctuary are scattered at the head of every street. The precious sons of Zion, valuable as fine gold, are now regarded as clay pots. Those who ate delicacies are desolate in the streets, and those who were brought up in royal scarlet now embrace ash heaps. Is this what I wanted? My people were brighter than snow, whiter than milk. They were like sapphire in their appearance, and now they are stricken for lack of fruits in the field. The hands of once compassionate women have cooked their own children, and their children have become food for them. Your children have become food for who were once compassionate women. But my fury is fulfilled, says the Lord. And I have now kindled a fire in Zion. I have kindled a fire in Zion, in America, in nations throughout the earth. And my fist is about to smack down on Russia. For out of the rebellion, turn me up to some, out of the rebellion.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to play a little bit of that as I was getting ready this morning. I hope you understand that God is dissatisfied with America and what comes out of America today. That's also part of that prophecy later on. I'm going to play a little bit more of that. Do you feel like you are in the ash heap? Do you feel like you got glare all over your glasses? Do you feel like you're down in the dumps, like it ain't working out, like you're part of that? Just, what's going on? Has God abandoned us? I'm telling you, there's hope. There's always hope. This is Mike Cook coming to you live from Central Missouri. It is approximately 8:34 a.m. As you're joining, please say hi where you're watching from and share this video. Share this video with your friends, your neighbors. I'm trying to be uplifting. I'm trying to be humorous, talk about events of the day. And there was some events, but also going to talk about God. If you don't want to hear about God, well, there's other places you can go. But I don't think the military is going to save us. And I don't think Trump's going to save us. And I don't think Q's going to save us. I don't think vaccine's going to save us. I don't think Joe Biden's going to save us. No. This is God's thing. And he's about to do something that hasn't been done in a long time. And I know it's hard. I know it's tough. I know it's a struggle when you look with your eyes and you see this guy up there and you're like, man, oh man. Jeez. And we watch this impeachment hearing and we're like, man, what is going on? But understand that all this was predicted. We are in the middle of a prophetic time. I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. So the events of the day, what's going on? Hey, tell you what, make sure you go over to Rumble and follow me over there. Please follow me and hit the little Rumble button on my videos. Watch my videos over there. I really appreciate it. If you want to watch it again, go over to Rumble, watch it. My videos have to load on there. I can't just go live like I do on YouTube and here on Facebook. So it takes half a day to load a video. My internet is so slow. Used to be fast. They changed my modem. Now it sucks. So I got to do something about that. Anyways, this is my YouTube account. I'm over there. I'm live on YouTube right now. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell, and share the video. Share the video, share the video, share the video. Invite your friends, tag your friends. Let your friends jump on this video. I'm going to try to give some hope today. This is me over here on the MeWe's. I'm just not doing much with MeWe right now. And Parler, well, if they ever get back up. They fired their CEO, so who knows how that's going to go. So anyway, so what's happening in the news? Well, the big announcement, David Hogg. That's right, David Hogg, the young kid who was so scared standing in the shooting in Florida. Yes, David Hogg, that David Hogg. Oh, he's so sad. Sorry. Yeah, that David Hogg, the one whose parents are activists, and he's an activist, and he's an anti-gun activist, and he's made a living out of being an activist. Yeah, that guy. He's going to start his own pillow company called Good Pillow. That's right, because that's how every good activist gets involved in capitalism. See, you don't get a guy who's a crackhead who has a dream. He has hope for the future, and he says, "Hey, I got this beautiful idea for this pillow. It's a really great idea." But he's so strung out on crack he can't do anything. So he's so strung out on crack that his crack dealer has an intervention and says, "Man, you're going to do this pillow thing, and we can get this thing straightened out." So then the guy gets saved. He turns to Jesus. He builds his company, and he becomes a billionaire selling my pillows. Now, that's a capitalist story. But no, this guy, he wants to make a pillow protest company. I'm thinking, see, first you have to have a good product. Then you have to have good marketing and a plan, and you also have to be inspired by God. I'm thinking, David Hogg, that's not how you start a business. I don't see this. I wouldn't buy stock in this company. I'm just saying that. So that's in the news today. Then this was in the news. I found this. A New York Post said 1 in 5 Americans have confidence that Biden can unite the country. That's a poll taken. 1 in 5 Americans. Wow, that's a lot of Americans. But here's the rest of the story. Somebody commented, said that's a weird way of saying 80% don't have confidence in him, because that's what 1 in 5 means. That's 20% have confidence in Biden. You notice how the media can spin it. They can make it look so good. Their narrative that they're creating, or the lie. See, they say 1 in 5 when they really mean 80%. That means 80% of America does not have confidence in Joe Biden. Duh. Who does? So what else is happening in the news today? The man charged in the U.S. Capitol riot worked for FBI, said lawyers. No kidding. I'm shocked. I tell you, I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. I would never have dreamt of that in 1,000 years, that the guy that works for the FBI would be caught up in this thing trying to set up President Trump. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. I'm looking over here. So what else is going on? So we got key moments in the video. This is from The Guardian. So we know it's going to be, straightforward and honest. So I just want to play this real quick so that you can see what happened yesterday as they opening arguments and they voted, and the Senate confirmed that it is constitutional, because the Senate gets to decide what's constitutional. I guess that's the way it works now, that we have that flag flying instead of the other flag. But just here's an audio clip real quick. It's a couple minutes long of what they said in the Senate yesterday.
The Senate will be in order.
Hold on a second. The first voice and the last voice you're going to hear is Senator Leaky Leahy, and he got that name by Rush Limbaugh back in the 90s, when the first thing that they'd do when they had something is he'd be the first one to run out to a camera and leak all the information. That's why he's called Leaky Leahy.
The chaplain Dr. Barry Black will lead the Senate in prayer.
You will not be hearing extended lectures from me because our case is based on cold, hard facts. It's all about the facts.
We will
facts.
stop
Yep.
the steal. After this,
highly
we're going
edited
to walk
video.
down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
Let's take the Capitol.
Oh, scary images. Oh, so scary.
If that's not an impeachable offense, then there is no such thing. Their argument is that if you commit an impeachable offense in your last few weeks in office, you do it with constitutional impunity. You get away with it. Conduct that would be a high crime and misdemeanor in your first year as president, and your second year as president, and your third year as president, and for the vast majority of your fourth year as president, you can suddenly do in your last few weeks in office without facing any constitutional accountability at all. This would create a brand new January exception to the Constitution of the United States of America. With this trial, you will open up new and bigger wounds across the nation. For a great many Americans see this process for exactly what it is: a chance by a group of partisan politicians seeking to eliminate Donald Trump from the American political scene and seeking to disenfranchise 74 million plus American voters and those who dare to share their political beliefs and vision of America.
Donald Trump has already done a number of things which legitimately raise the question of impeachment.
I don't respect this president, and I will fight every day until he is impeached.
That is grounds to start impeachment proceedings.
Let's understand why we are really here. We are really here because the majority in the House of Representatives does not want to face Donald Trump as a political rival in the future. That's the real reason we're here.
On this vote, the yeas are 56, the nays are 44. The Senate having voted in the affirmative on the foregoing question, the Senate shall proceed.
The question is whether
with the
President
trial
Donald Trump
as
is subject to
under the
jurisdiction
provisions
of the court
of that
impeachment.
resolution.
Court of impeachment. And the Senate has decided that he is, that it's constitutional, and the Senate can do whatever they want to do. But then again, we live in a post-constitutional America. The Constitution died on January 6th. There is no Constitution. As I've pointed out many times, that our rights are granted to us by God. But if you don't believe in God who gave us our rights, and this party booed God, this party rejected God, this party said God is not in charge of them. So where did your rights come from? You have no rights. You have no rights. We discussed yesterday how they're planning on just knocking down your doors and taking your guns in the middle of the night because you have no rights. That's where we are. That's where we are in America. We are at the precipice, the cliff, the hanging in. What Clement was talking about earlier when I played that, there's a veil placed over America. Everything seems to be dark. Everything seems to be going wrong. You know, I was watching something this morning and it was talking about Lazarus in the Bible. You know, they came and told Jesus that Lazarus was sick. Jesus hung around a couple more days, preaching and healing and teaching. He didn't go see Lazarus, his best friend, his buddy. He loved the whole entire family of Lazarus. He loved them. But he didn't go for 4 days. It was only a few hour walk from where he was. So he gets over there and they say, if you only showed up, if you only got here on time, you could have saved Lazarus. Isn't that the way you feel right now? If Trump, if the military, if somebody would have just done something before January 6th, done something before January 20th, we could have saved America. Because the Constitution is dead. But see, God had other plans with Lazarus. See, he said, roll the stone away. They said, but Lord, he stinketh. And right now, America stinketh. After 4 days. You see, there in the tradition back in those days is you waited 3 days before you fully buried somebody because they might come back. The spirit doesn't leave the body for 3 days. That was the tradition. So on the 4th day, Jesus said, well, it's done now. Nothing anybody could do. He's dead. And Jesus said, Lazarus, buddy, come on out here. And Lazarus got up and walked out. Makes me think of a Carmen song. I looked that one up. It's a good one. But Lazarus walks out. He says, take the burial clothes off of him and get him something to eat. Well, right now, we've been in the tomb 3 or 4 days. And we stinketh. And we're only going to be stinketh some more. As Sleepy Joe and the Ho's up there in the White House signing his executive orders. Or is he in the White House? That's kind of weird, all that. I don't understand. Is he in the White House? Is he not in the White House? How come the press secretary is in a different building? I've seen that picture. Everything's weird. Everything's not right. Something's going on around here. I don't know what it is, but something's going on. So I looked something up. And I totally forgot to post it. I totally forgot to put that on the video. Oh, my goodness. Where am I at today? I meant to add that. That was important stuff. Bear with me while I live add stuff so I can show it to you, because I'm going to keep talking and pretending like I know what I'm doing. And I apologize. I'm usually better organized. My name's not Brad Barton. I'm just kidding, Brad. Just kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. I hope you get that one. Those of you that watch Brad know exactly what I'm talking about. So I forgot to add these slides because I wanted to talk about this because I felt it was important. Bear with me because this thing might make a bunch of noise and I'm going to try to prevent it from doing that. So I got to enter the program. I've got to go over here. Hold on a second. I got to enter the... this is not working like I want it to. Okay. Let me move this mic away so we don't get stupid at this. Bear with me 1 second. I want you to see this. This is important. I want to talk about corporations. And you may have been considering what a corporation is here lately, and I just totally forgot to add these images, and it's important to what I was going to say. So I just want to get this done. So I thought real hard about adding them, and I didn't. Okay, so now I got that. Is editing on the fly. Just call me Brad Barton Jr. I'll take that as a compliment. Any of you guys that watch him know what I'm talking about. The guy he has a problem with technology. So anyway, so what is a corporation? So here it is right here. This is what I was loading in. A corporation, a company of people organized to act in a single entity, legally a person, a recognized as such in law. It also could be a group of people elected to govern a city, town, or borough, such as a municipal corporation. Here's another definition of what a corporation is. A corporation is an organization, usually of a group of people or a company, authorized by the state to act as a single entity in recognition as such a law for certain purposes. Early incorporated entities were established by charter. Most jurisdictions now allow creation of new corporations through registration. Okay. And then there's one more definition here. A corporate defined. It is a corporation is legal entity separate and distinct from its owners. Corporations enjoy most of the rights and responsibilities of individual possesses. They can enter contracts, loan, borrow money, sue, be sued, hire employees, own assets, pay taxes. Some refer to it as a legal person. Another definition that I got from a video, I couldn't find it in writing, but basically a corporation provides protection for the people involved. So if you set your business up as a corporation, it protects you. If they sue your corporation, you're protected. Your assets, your personal assets are protected. It covers you so that if there's wrongdoing within the corporation, the individuals are protected from that corporation. And the reason I bring this up is there's some rumors about corporation going around, and it makes me say, And I was listening to Clement, and I'm going to play this video in just a few minutes. This part of, I'm going to play the audio of it. This part of this prophecy, and he says in there, we have no protection. And I got to thinking about corporations and what would happen if corporations were dissolved to the members of a company. Well, there would be no legal protection anymore. And it just got me thinking about that. I don't know where I'm going with that. It's just my mind is kind of just trying to decide where we're at. Hey, if you're watching this video, if you're logging in right now, do me a favor. Like, comment, and share. Okay. Let me know where you're watching from and share this video and tag your friends in and all that stuff. I'm trying to get my numbers back up to where they were before I was muted down. Of course, they've spread me around. I'm still getting several thousand viewers on Facebook, but also now I'm getting 7,000 viewers on YouTube and 7,000 viewers on Rumble. So it's kind of spreading around. They when I kicked me off of Facebook for a short period of time, but it would help me if you do that. It would really be good for me, and I appreciate it if you would, because the only way that my message gets out there, and I try to give a message of hope. I don't try to chase too many conspiracies because I don't know. If I know something for sure, I'll tell you. But right now, I don't have a clue. I don't know how it's going to happen. That Time magazine thing I talked about yesterday has really got me thinking. It's really got me thinking. If you read in the Bible, all over in the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, whatever, many a time, God used people that were the enemies of Israel, the enemies of God, to destroy themselves. They took themselves out. And one of the prophecies that Clement has is that Time magazine will say what I want them to say. The View will say what I want them to say. CNN will say what I want them to say. And I'm thinking, Time magazine. I mean, they're like defunct, aren't they? I mean, they're almost gone. Who reads Time magazine? But here there's this article breaking in Time magazine where they pretty much admit to stealing this election. Oh, they fortified it. They didn't steal it. So I'm like, wow, that's blowing me away. I've got another video from, I just wanted to play. I got another video from, excuse me, from the yesterday's in the Senate. This is Trump's legal defense. Hold on, let me back that up. Okay, here we go.
Prosecutors have an ethical requirement that they are not allowed to charge people with criminal offenses without probable cause. You might consider that. And if we go down the road that my very worthy adversary here, Mr. Raskin, asks you to go down, the floodgates will open. I was going to say it will, instead of floodgates, I was going to say originally it will release the whirlwind, which is a biblical reference. But I subsequently learned since I got here that particular phrase has already been taken, so I figured I'd better change it to floodgates.
So the Trump attorney says he didn't want to say release the whirlwind because that had already been said. God is about to release the whirlwind. Where have you heard that before? Yes, that's already been spoken of. God is about to do something. He's about to change everything. He's about to, as I said in the past, when Egypt was chasing Israel down to the sea, just before God parted the sea, God was able to change the world order of things in a moment. What we are doing here is so much bigger than the president. It's so much bigger than America. It's so much bigger than you and me. It's so much bigger than all of this. It's a changing of the world order of things. But right now we're getting a taste. The Bible in Revelation predicts that there's a time of a rising of a new leader. And for 6 to 7 years, he will control the earth and he will do many really bad things. And you look at that and you read that and you think, boy, that's so far off in the distant future. How could that possibly even be so? How could it happen? How could something like that happen so quickly? And you look at world events today and you're going, it's happening. You could see it. You could taste it. You could feel it. We're finding out what that's going to be like now. We're getting a taste of it. But I don't think we're there yet. God's promised a worldwide revival. And I think that's where we are in the timeline of all this, because people are telling me, they're sending me messages constantly that they're coming back to the Lord. Not necessarily because of my videos, but because of circumstances. I had a friend tell me, who was pretty much, I know this guy for years, told me the other day that because of Brad Martin and my videos and stuff, that he's starting to think about God a lot more than he used to. I saw another comment on Brad's post where guys saying that, you know, I've never really prayed for the country before, but because of your videos, I'm praying for the country all the time now. So things are changing. People are changing. God is moving. He's working on the hearts of people. God is working on my heart. I know that much. And I still got this rumbling in my belly, and it ain't the chili I ate. Oh, it's something in there. God's saying, no, we're not done yet. This dog ain't dead yet. We're going to get out here and do some hunting. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting what happens in the very near future. You know, part of it was, you know, some of this goes with what 17 was saying, and, you know, some of the other, the Aeon and all this, the QAnon conspiracy. There's no such thing as QAnon. It's Q and anonymous. They're two different things. There's no group. There's no pointy hats and secret handshakes. They don't meet in the middle of the night and smoke cigars. It's just a bunch of average Joes on the internet trying to figure out what in the world's going on around here. So I want to play this, a little bit of more of this Kim Clement. This is from 2014. 2014. I mean, Barack Obama was still president. And just listen to the timeline of things. Okay? This is really, I struggled with this, trying to figure this out before, but man, oh man, now that we're living it, boy, it pops out. Just listen to the timeline of things. So here we go. Kim Clement, 2014.
And there are highly embarrassing moments that are about to occur for many, many politicians in this nation. There'll be a shaking amongst the Democrats in the upcoming elections, but unsettling for the Republicans. Why is God doing this? For God said, I am dissatisfied with what emerges from both parties. And then there is a nation, he showed me, took me, itching for a new kind of war with America. They will shout, impeach, impeach, they say.
First impeachment.
But no. This nation shall come very subtly, but he shall not come in the time of President Obama. They shall come when this new one arises, my David, that I have set aside for this nation. A man of prayer, a man of choice words, not a man who is verbose, who has verbosity, who speaks too much. They will even say, this man is not speaking enough.
Have you heard from Trump lately?
But God says, I have set him aside.
He has been set aside.
They will shout, impeach, impeach.
Second impeachment.
But this shall not happen. And then God says, highly embarrassing moments when another Snowden arises.
Okay, we'll pause it right there for just a second. This is where we are in the timeline right now. I'm feeling the tingly inglings right now. This is where we are in the timeline. Okay? Donald Trump is set aside. We've been attacked as a nation. Mike Pompeo was talking about how we were attacked as a nation in our election process and with the coronavirus by a foreign adversary. Donald Trump is set aside. Impeach, but no second impeachment. This is where we are. A new Snowden is about to arise. I don't know when. I don't know who. I don't know what. A lot of people, I've said this several times, a lot of people are asking in the comments, what's Snowden? Who's Snowden? What's Snowden? Back before Trump's time, I think Snowden was working for the NSA or the CIA or one of the alphabets, and he leaked a whole bunch of information about how the government was spying on the American people. Leaked it to WikiLeaks, and he got in some trouble over that. Anyways, it was a massive scandal, which they covered up real well. That's what Snowden is. Snowden is a leaker with information. So let's continue listening.
And people will become very afraid. They'll say, we have no protection. And then God says, am I impressed?
Okay. Let me play that again. I was talking about corporations.
And then God says, highly embarrassing moments when another Snowden arises. And people will become very afraid. They'll say, we have no protection. And then God.
So I didn't understand the no protection thing. And I'm not sure I understand it now, but that really didn't fit in. What do you mean we have no protection? People become very afraid and say we have no protection. A new Snowden is going to rise. A new leaker is going to come. He's going to provide information. It's going to blow this whole thing up. And then people become very afraid and say we have no protection. And we go back to what a corporation is. And I have to wonder, no protection. No protection from what? Why do you all of a sudden have no protection? Then this part right here, am I impressed with your weapons of war? I assumed that he was talking about that nation that's coming. It doesn't follow in the timeline. See, that nation already came with his new kind of warfare. We talked about that. You shall have joy in the spring, but oh, a hot summer. On July, a hot summer. Summer must do what it needs to do in order to have a fall, for people to fall in the fall. That's another one of Kim Clement's prophecies. It's not on this one, it's a different one. But you put that together with this.
God says, am I impressed with your weapons of war? Am I impressed with the strength of your men's legs? I have said I will bring this nation to its knees. And God said, you have been humbled. And yet some more.
All right. So, new Snowden, no protection. Am I impressed with your weapons of war, with your men's knees or legs? And then humbling. Are you ready to be humbled? I'm not ready to be humbled. But that's what he said.
And then you shall hear the sounds of great victory. For where are the people gathered? Where are my people gathered? Where is the sound of unity from my people? I want just this crowd here and all the thousands.
All right. So let's listen to that again without me interrupting.
And who is verbose, who has verbosity, who speaks too much. They will even say, this man is not speaking enough. But God says, I have set him aside. They will shout, impeach, impeach. But this shall not happen. And then God says, highly embarrassing moments when another Snowden arises. And people will become very afraid. They'll say, we have no protection. And then God says, am I impressed with your weapons of war? Am I impressed with the strength of your men's legs? I have said I will bring this nation to its knees. And God said, you have been humbled. And yet some more. And then you shall hear the sounds of great victory.
Humbled and yet some more. Now, you're like, well, but, and I was button too. I was like, oh, impeach. Maybe that's the same. Maybe he's reiterating. Maybe he's doubling up. This was last year at this time as I'm watching this. But this prophecy has been exact up until the second impeachment. Everything. You can watch it. You can walk right in and say, yep. It's been exact up until the second impeachment. From there, we are now into prophecy again. We're not into, okay, that all happened. So what does that mean? I don't know. But we got a timeline happening right here. And I'm firmly, I was like, before I was like, oh, okay, that could be this, that could be that. It could be happening all at once. Prophecies that way. Sometimes that's double meaning and blah, blah, blah. But that prophecy from the first impeachment to the second impeachment has exactly happened in that order. So buckle up, Cupcake, because it's going to get entertaining. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's coming. I don't know what the Snowden is, the leaker, the new evidence, the blockbuster that's about to make people be highly afraid and have no protection. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it has to do with this corporation thing. I don't know. But the part that really got my skin, got me crawling a little bit, is that he's going to humble us yet some more in weapons of war. The summer is supposed to be really hot. Does he mean temperature-wise? Because right now, it's 8 degrees outside and snowing. And my pipes are still frozen. Got the heat lamp on it. I do it all I can. I need some sunshine. But or July. I don't know. I'm just putting this out there because this is what's rolling through my head. This is what's in my spirit, in my gut right now, kind of just bouncing all around. Because another one of Kim's prophecies is two presidents. A time. There'll be a time of 2 presidents. Well, you can see where if there's 2 presidents, it could cause. Am I impressed with your weapons of war? Why would he say that? I thought it was the Chinese. I'm not so sure about that anymore. I'm not so sure. I mean, I don't have the answers, and I'm not predicting anything. I am not a prophet, and I don't play one on television. I'm just taking a look at a guy that I think is a prophet, that his timeline is pretty stinking accurate up into the second impeachment, and then the next step is the new Snowden. And I'm saying, you guys, this is not a coincidence. In 2014, he did this. The same man predicted Donald Trump would be president for 2 terms. He said that there would be a lot of stuff going on in the middle. I don't know what that means. The reason I'm putting this together, this video, share this video with your friends and family and everybody you can share it with, is because it's not over yet. And it's going to get crazy before he says we're going to have victory. But we got to go through the steps there first. And will it be? I mean, there's another prophecy, Kim, that talks about springtime you'll have joy, summertime will be hot, and people will fall and fall. It's seasons. But is that the seasons or is that seasons? Like, is it months, days, weeks, years? I don't know. Gosh, I hope it's over tomorrow. Hope this whole thing blows up tomorrow. I'd really love to take this flag down. But as long as China Joe, and the hoe is still in, why do you call her a hoe? Well, just do some research on who she is, where she came from, what she used to do for a living. How she got to be Attorney General of California. You know, I'll tell you, I can talk about this man because he's passed away and he's a Baptist. He loved Jesus. He loved Jesus more than anything in the world. He was just a little rough around the edges. I mean, he was not the kind of guy you want to meet, introduced to your preacher. But I do believe he loved Jesus, and I believe he's sitting up in heaven with the Lord right now, cracking jokes and got everybody laughing. But the guy was a wealthy man. He said he had to go up to the city. I said, what you going up there for? He said, I got to collect my rent from the whores. He's an old guy. And I said, what? He goes, well, I got all them Section 8 housings up there in the city. And if you're laying around making babies for the government to pay you, what does it make you? I'll never forget that, man. That was something else. So, I don't know where that came from. I apologize to all my Christian brothers and sisters that may have been offended by that one. But that was, I mean, you are what you are. Name it and claim it, right? If you're going to sit around the government, collect the check, laying sideways in the public trough, lapping the water, hanging out, doing nothing. Joe's your man. And so's Kamala, evidently. Anyways, I better get off here before I say something I shouldn't say. Be prepared, be ready. God is in control. God's got this. Lazarus may have been dead and he may have stinketh, and this country stinks right now and has stunk for a while, by the way. Crooked, evil people have been running the show for years, my entire lifetime, maybe longer. But it's about to come to an end because God is dissatisfied. You know, it's better to be on God's good side than his bad side, because if you crack open that, blow the dust off that book, you crack it open, you start reading, just pick a spot, start reading. Bad things come to those that cross God. And Lazarus walked out of that tomb and lived several more years. May not have been, I don't know. Could you imagine standing in glory, standing in the heavens, and hear Jesus saying, hey, come on back? You're like, dude, I want to go back. But God called Lazarus back because it was part of the plan. God's going to save this country because he has a plan. He has a worldwide evangelist plan. There's other prophecies from other people that are predicting worldwide a massive outpouring of God's Spirit. And I see it on here right now. People commenting on my videos from all around the world saying they're praying for America. Well, that's weird. What's going on here? Worldwide revivals breaking out. If you don't know the Lord, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, if you don't, if you're going, what is this all about? The first thing you need to do is get a Bible. If you don't have one, send me a message. I'll send you one. I got several. I buy and sell storage units. And I got a stack of Bibles, and I don't sell them. I give them to people. And you know what? If you get an older Bible, doesn't necessarily have to be King James with all the marbles in your mouth. That thou'th goeth out without the marbles and thou'th mouth. Thou'th won't be holy. You don't have to have that. You can get a different translation. But an older Bible, 10, 15, 20 years old, before they started editing it to be socially correct. Yes, they're doing that to the Bible. Make sure that this is not your Bible. You can get the Bible app on the phone, and I have it, and I use it. But that you have an older hard copy, a book. Because they're changing it. They're taking things out, one word at a time. Changing, if you change the meaning by taking the letter A out, instead of, or adding a letter to it, it's not the same. So make sure, if you're just, I'm getting at it, if you're interested, if you're thinking, man, I need to know more about this God and this Jesus, comment on here. Let people know that you're interested in more information. There's some folks on here that are way more better than me. I'm just an average Joe. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a prophet. I'm not nothing. I'm a nobody. I'm a used car salesman, a used tire salesman. But I know that the Lord is real, that God raised Jesus from the dead on the third day, that he died on the cross for our sins, and our salvation comes on the third day. I know that he's right now at the right hand of the Father, waiting for God to put his enemy, his footstool. And that's when this is all done. I don't know how it's all going to play out. Yeah, I've read the end of the book. I've seen that we win, but I don't know how it's all going to play out. I don't know how it's going to play out in the next few weeks, months, or years. But God's in control. He has this thing under control. All of it. And he's chosen America like he chose Israel. Actually, America chose him. That's another story for another time. If you'd like to hear it, I'll tell it. Two nations ever in the history dedicated to God. One God chose, Israel. One chose God, America. That's right. That's how we were founded, regardless of what these atheists are trying to tell you. And God has a special purpose for us, a plan. And we ain't done yet. There's more to come. So with that, I'm going to jump off here. Been on too long. Guys, have a great day. I do appreciate everybody on here. Please share, tag your friends in this. Let your friends. I'm trying to say hope, man. I don't hope in Donald Trump. I don't hope in 17. I don't hope in the military. I don't hope in none of that. My hope is in God, and God's going to pull this off, and it's going to be big when He does. And it may not be this week, next month, or next year. I don't know. But follow that prophetic timeline right there that I just played. It can get interesting real quick. Am I impressed with your weapons of war? You guys have a good one. I'm out of here.